And here is the Writer's Almanac for Thursday, the 8th of March, 2018. It was on this day, 1935, Thomas Wolfe's novel of Time and the River was published. His editor was Maxwell Perkins, who got the first draft, more than 1 million words, and still growing. Perkins and Wolfe met almost every day, while Perkins read through every page, red pencil in hand, slashing many of the pages from corner to corner, Wolfe arguing with these deletions, coming in with new material, which Perkins rejected. The book turned out to be 912 pages long, and Wolfe dedicated it to Perkins, and the dedication was almost 100 words long. Of Time in the River was a commercial success. It got mostly good reviews. But Thomas Wolfe was wounded by the negative ones, and he became convinced that Perkins had ruined his book. He left Perkins for a new editor. 3 years later, dying of tuberculosis at the age of 37, he sent his last letter apologizing to Perkins and thanking him once again. It's the birthday of Kenneth Grahame, born in Edinburgh, Scotland, 1859, raised by his grandmother in an old house in the south of England with a big attic and a garden near the River Thames and the Bisham Woods. The family had lost its fortune. Grahame couldn't go to college. At the age of 19, got a job at the Bank of England. He was nostalgic for his childhood, and he collected wooden toys and stuffed animals, which filled his flat. And he wrote several books glorifying childhood, the golden age, dream days. When he was 38, still a bachelor, he met a woman named Elspeth Thompson. They married. They had a son named Alistair, who was in poor health, blind in one eye. Grahame told his son bedroom stories about a character named Mr. Toad, and he wrote these stories down, collected them in a book, The Wind in the Willows. It got terrible reviews, and it became a classic. And it's the birthday of John McPhee, born Princeton, New Jersey, 1931, journalist, written about canoes, basketball, oranges, geology, tennis, nuclear energy, the Swiss Army, and his own family tree, which he traced back to a Scotsman who moved to Ohio to become a coal miner. One of his high school English teachers required her students to write 3 compositions a week, each accompanied by a detailed outline, and McPhee still writes from an outline. He wanted to write for The New Yorker, which rejected his work for 14 years, until in 1962 he sold them a profile of a Princeton basketball player named Bill Bradley. He's published more than 25 books. His most recent collection is Silk Parachute. Here's a poem for today by Mary Oliver, entitled On the Beach. On the beach at dawn, 4 small stones clearly hugging each other. How many kinds of love might there be in the world, and how many formations might they make? And who am I ever to imagine I could know such a marvelous business? When the sun broke, it poured willingly its light over the stones that did not move, not at all, just as to its always generous term it shed its light on me, my own body, that loves equally to hug another body. Mary Oliver's poem On the Beach, from her collection Swan, published by Beacon Press and used by permission here on the Writer's Almanac, supported by the Poetry Foundation, publisher of Poetry Magazine, the oldest monthly devoted to discovering and publishing new voices in poetry. You can browse 100 years of poetry and become a subscriber at poetryfoundation.org. Produced by Joy Biles, engineered by Noah Smith. Be well, do good work, and keep in touch.